Hi, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, an Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. Let's go ahead and begin. What are the top 5 things I should do once I receive my unfavorable disability benefits letter? So we just did fully favorable and partially favorable. Now let's do the unhappy one, the super sad one, which is the unfavorable disability letter. First and foremost, I always take the approach with people who, and I tell them, look, if I failed the bar exam, which I never did, I passed it on the first time, got the triple crown pass, the whole yada yada. But the bottom line is if I had failed it, right, because when lawyers or potential future lawyers fail the bar exam, they become lepers in their head, I didn't, but I could imagine like how it would feel if I didn't. So what I tell them is, look, you need to take a week where you emotionally adjust to this thing. And during that week, I've got to read the attorney that you have, why the denial occurred for the potential of basically going ahead and appealing it to the appeals council level. So the first thing is, number 1, take a week to just assimilate what's going on, okay? Because the first thing you're going to do is be crazy. What you really need to do is be smart. All right, now that brings us to number 2. If you were not smart and you didn't hire an attorney and you just winged it, then what did you expect? You know what I mean? Like, come on. If you did hire an attorney, then the first thing you're going to do is tell Layla to, hi, I know, I fed you twice this morning. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and basically call them and say, hey, look, what's my timeline for you reading this letter and figuring out if this is an appeals council claim? Now remember something, if your attorney is likely not registered at the federal level for district court, then they probably don't take claims to the next level, which is appeals council, which means you picked the wrong attorney because they just take people to hearings and they don't have any background or knowledge or understanding of how to take people into the appeals council. So if you want to know more about that, you can always email me or join us live 8 to 10 on Thursday. Hi, Shadow. All right, so let's talk about this. Why are you such a good kisser? All right, so next thing. So number 3, what you should do is make sure if you're part of a program, right? There's programs, you might be in a living program, you might be, getting benefits or something from somebody as part of a private thing, like a landlady's giving you extra months or whatever. Make sure you notify them and give them a plan that you have. Right? Make sure you explain to them, here's what happened, here's what's going on, yada, yada. A lot of you guys will be like, oh, I don't know what happened. Trust me, it's better if you notify them and say, look, I could have not told you, but I'm trying to be honest with you because then they'll work with you. Otherwise, they're going to kick you out and tell all their friends who are usually also owners of places that you might rent at. So that's number 3. Number 4, you face a tough decision. And I'm going to tell you what it is right now. You have the option of refiling, or you have the option of basically doing appeals council. Appeals council has a particularly low passage rate. It shifts anywhere from 2 to 20% depending on what day it is and what kind of impairments you have and what arguments you have against, the issues as to law or fact that were, mistaken as part of the brief. So that's a situation where basically you could wait, 12, well, it could be 9 to 12 to 15 months for a new decision, whereby they either make a decision that's positive, make a decision where they deny you again, you just waited a whole extra year, or basically they remand it back to the prior ALJ, who, if they wrote you out as not disabled, is not always the best option to go back in front of them. Or you could refile. Let your attorney figure that out for you. If you didn't have an attorney before, go find an appeals council-based attorney. They're going to need basically the exhibit lists, the exhibits, which is that disc the OHO office gives you, the hearing office, and they're going to need to basically have the hearing decision letter so they can review it, see what's going on, see if there's potential for appeals council review. Okay, so what do I mean by all of this? Basically, it's a situation where you have to make a choice. You could refile. Right? Did something change in your life during that decision process after the hearing, or you were hit by a car, or this or that might not be considered as part of the original hearing? If that's the deal, and it's likely that you lost for a reason, refile. If it's a deal where basically the judge didn't consider certain medical providers, they didn't consider certain pieces of evidence, yada yada, then maybe take it to appeals council. That might be a good one. But let an attorney look at it. I know you winged it up to this point if you didn't have an attorney, and I love you so much for it, yada yada, but just let an attorney look at it because you'd be insane not to. I have no idea if that was 3 or 4 because I'm tired and wet from running around in the rain to get the iPad because it was in the car. So let's go on to, let's just do a couple more anyways. Another thing that you want to consider after you get the unfavorable is making sure that you make a plan for the next 6 months, because the next 6 months you're not going to have a decision either way, unless something dramatic happened. You got stage 4 cancer, yada yada yada. So make sure you know, like, where's my shelter coming from, where am I going to put my food, what kind of transportation am I going to be using, so on and so forth. Just make sure you go through those details. Okay. Next thing that you got to be careful about is looking into health insurance. A lot of you guys will just say, I'm disabled, and never go get medical treatment, and then blame it on not having health insurance or the ability to pay for it. But the reality is that a lot of you, if you just had some basic medical insurance and you were going to a GP, general practitioner, and you consistently went, that would in some judges' eyes be better than having gone, not having gone to any physicians, or maybe just having one appointment with a specialist where they didn't really do anything. Because remember, specialists, the first time you see them, nothing happens. It's, hi, who are you, what's going on? The second time you see them, we're talking about tests and things like that. So it's a very different scenario. All right. So those are pretty much the top 5 things that you should be considering doing after receiving an unfavorable letter. Make sure you go check out the other videos. Make sure you realize that there's fully favorable version of this and a partially favorable video of this, and then of course the unfavorable. If you have any questions, want the most up-to-date information, that's fine. Shoot me an email or give me a call, and we will go from there. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. And remember, 8 to 10 Thursdays, I run hearing questions with anybody and everybody who calls in. You could be from California, Guam, Virgin Islands, any one of these places, and I'll run questions with you. All right, I'll catch you a little bit later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.